Hi, this is Anita from 5 Minutes with Art, where we talk about just 5 minutes every week. We'll talk about something to do with art. Today, I want to talk about something about how do museums choose what to exhibit. And I'm just going to be talking very much in generalities because this could change from museum to museum, from curator to curator. It could, change because of a lot of different things. Museums could have certain things they won't exhibit, certain things they will. It really depends upon the individual museum. So what I'm going to talk about now are just basically a few areas which most museums will look at. The first one, of course, is budget constraints. That most museums work under some type of budget. And so they may not simply just have the money to be able to exhibit everything they want to exhibit, especially if it's a local museum, which, by the way, there are some great local museums out there. And if you have a small museum, support it. But, it could be they just have a budget constraints that they really cannot be able to support everything they want to support. So they have to, sit down and look and say, what do we think are the things that we want to exhibit and what will get the most, which is my next one, public interest. Because museums depend upon people like you, the public to support them, the public to come in, the public to want to view the exhibition that they have. I was recently in the Milwaukee Museum of Art. I went to see an exhibition on Scandinavian design. It was beautifully done, by the way, really nice museum, really nice exhibition. They did a great job on it. But again, they depend upon people like me and others to come in there and to view the exhibition so the exhibition can be able to pay for itself and be able to help the museum. That's why one reason why the Louvre in Paris, is such a great museum is because people, they will line up to go see the Mona Lisa. The Louvre sells more tickets for people to see the Mona Lisa than anything else, the most viewed painting in the world. So really, museums will show what they believe their public or those that they're known for would want to show. And, if a museum is in the name of an artist, they may only want to show certain artists that are similar to that artist. So it really has to do, again, with the public interest and even what the brand of the museum is. The other thing is the space restraints. Like anything else, museum has a certain amount of space. Space costs money. So they have to look at and say, what do we have to exhibit? What's our space? What's our permanent exhibition? What's our, what exhibition space do we have for temporary exhibition? And what do we want to use that space for? Putting on a temporary exhibition is expensive. There's a lot of work that goes into it. They, many times, they have to redesign the space. They have to, do paintings. They have to build things. So it is not a cheap endeavor to put up a temporary exhibition. That is why a lot of museums will also look at their space and what they have in their space to decide what will work, what the public will be interested in, and would the exhibition even work within the space that they have. Could be their space is too small and it doesn't work, or their space may be too big and they don't have enough stuff to fill the space. So those are all things that a museum must look at and decide before they decide what to exhibit. The last one would be the museum's mission and values. Like many institutions, art museums have a mission and a vision, and they will decide what they exhibit and why they exhibit. They also have some values with it too. So they may have an idea, and they might, or a period of art they want to show. Like the Frida Kahlo Museum is dedicated to showing, her art and life. Georgia O'Keeffe, Norman Rockwell, and Jackson Pollock also have art museums that will show mainly their work. But then what they may do is they may bring in another artist which is similar to these artists and bring them in and have a temporary exhibition on them. So, all of these things, what's sort of like, they will work in the favor for them to decide. The Tate in London, their main focus is to increase the public's enjoyment and understanding of British art from 16th century to the present day and of international modern contemporary art. So right there, they're telling you, when you come to the Tate Museum in London, this is what you're going to see. This is what our museum's about. So these are all the different reasons why a museum may decide what to show and how they're going to show it. If you'd like to read more about this, I have a blog that we've written on this, which is entitled, How Do Art Museums Choose to Exhibit Their Work? We'd like to thank you so much for listening to our podcast, where we try to just 5 minutes every week talk about something to do with art. We'd like to thank you, our listeners, and also thank our team who helps put it together, especially Rico, who makes it possible.